Now the devil that he was talking about was not the guy we see in the art gallery. He's got horns, he's got sharp ears, he's got a tail with a barbed hook. Then we stand rows and rows behind each other. And my sister, she's standing in front of me there in the row. This is 36, 24, 36. The illustration of a beautiful BMW motor car. In front of the motor car, there's a woman in the skimpiest of bikini, what you call the tanga, the G-string. And she's standing in a lustful, enticing pose. And at the bottom is written, test drive her now.
A group of Christian guests and missionaries visited Sheikh Deedat in Riverside Mosque in Durban. And while guiding them in the mosque, Sheikh Deedat made these Christian guests laugh when explaining the behavior of Christianity itself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The question was, when do the women come to pray? See, the obligation to pray, as well as every other religious obligation which is incumbent upon the man, is also incumbent upon the woman. But there is what is called a segregation of the sexes in Islam. Men and women are not allowed to freely intermingle. So in the absence of a separate facility, they pray at home. There are certain mosques which have certain separate facilities. Like this particular one here, unfortunately, you know, the way from the very beginning it was built, it didn't have that facility. But now, the free intermingling is that which is not allowed. Otherwise, everything the man does, the woman must do. Fasting, prayer, going on a pilgrimage, giving charity, whatever the man does, the woman must do the same. But now, you might not have had the chance of coming through that section there where we make ablution. So you might have come in straight in here. That other side, you saw the steps there, seats there. Going out time, you can have a look. So the men and the women must go through the same process. And imagine you, my sister, you making your ablution there. And I'm waiting for my turn. Because at prayer time, there's always a queue behind every tap. So you making your ablution and I'm waiting for my turn. For example. And I can assure you, madam, that as old as I am, I see the lady, you know, sitting there, her dresses around, you know, the nape of the neck, lifting up her legs, washing her feet. I said, you know, number one, you won't feel comfortable. With a man sitting on your right hand side and a man sitting on your left hand side, and some places a man sitting across there, you're lifting up your legs and washing your feet, you might be wearing a hot pant, you know, you won't be at ease. Then there's a man sitting on your right hand, the man sitting on your left hand side, and there's a guy waiting from behind, you know, he's watching, say, lovely tresses this lady has got, what lovely arms she's got. This is man, any man. Unless he's a lunatic or something else is wrong with him. Look, this is how God made man. Then you might have witnessed as in prayer, everybody standing shoulder to shoulder. Because the Holy Prophet Muhammad, he said that when you stand up for prayer, you must not leave gaps for the devil to get in between you and your brother. Now the devil that he was talking about was not the guy we see in the art gallery, museum complex, you know, City Hall. You go upstairs, second floor there, and you see the paintings by great artists. There is one huge painting there of a beautiful woman, well proportioned with wings. She's got a wand in her hand. She's directing the devil to go to hell, and you can see the devil flying off. In the picture you can show all that. Hellfire in the distance, and the devil is flying off, and this devil has got ruddy complexion, red, red, red. He's got horns, he's got sharp ears, he's got a tail with a barbed hook. It's worth seeing. Some great artist has done that job. I said, now you know, a devil like that, if you saw it, you run for dear life. Me too, me too. Muhammad wasn't talking about that. He was talking about you, yourself, we, ourselves. So you see, I'm white, he's black. I'm rich, he's poor. That devil must not be allowed to come in between you and your brother. So you stand shoulder to shoulder. My brother can't get away from me and I can't get away from him. But instead of my brother, you, my sister, standing next to me. And I said, Allahu Akbar. So Allah is the greatest. But nice, cushy feeling. Nice and warm. I'm wondering whether she's not the greatest. No, this is the human mind, how it works. Then we stand rows and rows behind each other, as you have seen, rows and rows behind. And my sister, she's standing in front of me there, in the row, and I'm behind her. So Allahu Akbar. So Allah is the greatest. This is 36, 24, 36. Look, This is man, any man. Unless he's a lunatic or there's something else wrong with him. This is how God made man. You know, the thing that allures him most on this earthly existence is woman. And I don't have to prove it to the Westerner. To you people, I don't have to prove it. You know it, this weakness of man, and your people are using it to the limit. Look, Lucian Motors, Smith Street, Durban, they sell second-hand trucks. But on the trucks that they advertise, there's a woman in the bikini on top of the truck. Then G North, they moved from Field Street to North Eden. G North, they sell second-hand tractors. They sell tractors. And on the tractor that they advertise, a woman in the bikini on top of the tractor. I'm asking, what has a woman in the bikini got to do with a second-hand truck or with a tractor? Except the man. You see, he'll be enticed to read that advert because of that woman. And then BMW has beaten the lot. BMW. Is the motor car supposed to be a little better than the Mercedes-Benz? I'm not in the market for it. I had 4 Beetles. You know, I spoke about Beetle. 4 Beetle motor cars, one after another. And then they did away with the Beetles. I was forced to buy a Golf. I'm still not in the market for a BMW. But a BMW advert in our daily news attracted me. What's the advert? BMW, illustration of a beautiful BMW motor car. In front of the motor car, there's a woman in the skimpiest of bikini, what you call the tanga, the G-string. And she's standing in a lustful, enticing pose. And at the bottom is written, test drive her now. Who? The woman of the car. She's buying the car. No, the buyer car. So what are you doing to your women for? You see, the Westerner, he sells his mother, he sells his wife, he sells his daughter, he sells his sister. Everything is for sale. To him, anything, his wife is a star. You know, he's proud, his wife is a star. She's being, bruised on the screen. The guy is simulating sex with her on the screen, and he can enjoy, so my wife is a star. So what has happened to you? Your sense of values. Your mother is a star. Your daughter is a star. This is the Holy Prophet Muhammad, he said that women, they are your mothers and your sisters and your daughters and your aunts. They are to be loved, respected, cherished and protected. They are not for sale. So according to our system, this free intermingling is a thing that is not allowed. But if there is a separate facility, like in the Grey Street Mosque now in Durban, they have a separate facility, separate entrance, separate place for ablution. Everything is separate. They are in the mosque and yet out of the mosque, allowed. Only the free intermingling is not permitted now. But the obligation is on the man as well as the woman to pray. According to?
Does he call you to prayer?
No. That anybody else? No. He only leads, the imam, he leads. The one who calls the people to pray is called a muazzin. Muazzin is the one who gives the azan. Azan means a call. Anybody also can do that. Anybody. Just.
Do you have your own burial committee?
Burial committee? No, you see, the Muslim is an amazing community. It's an amazing community, man. We have no, what's they call, burial insurance. You know, if I die, or any Muslim, no Muslim is worried that when he dies, what's going to happen? No Muslim is worried. Amazing community this is. No Muslim ever worries about death, that if I die, what's going to happen? The community, it is the duty of the community to bury me. So in other words, if the community doesn't do that, everybody is guilty. In Islam, if some people don't do the job, everybody is guilty. So there's always some people to look after me if I'm dead. And so it carries on, man. There is no such thing as a body or a society to do that. The whole, if somebody dies nearest to me, right, and everybody flocks there, and we'll never ask the widow. He says, did he leave any money behind? Has he got any money for funeral expenses? Nothing. That's the part of the living, to bury the dead. That's their job. They must bury. And if they said, look, my husband has left this money, for this purpose, well and good. If not, it's on the community. The community does it. Yes, ma'am.
Why do Muslims wear the hat?
The question is, why do the Muslims wear a hat? You see, I might ask you, ma'am. I said, you see, your dad or your husband, when he goes to church, he takes off his hat. Does he? Yes. So I'm asking why. Why does the gentleman take off the hat? So the man tells me, he says, to show respect. But I said, you're telling your wife to put it on? He said, yes. I said, what for? He says, to show respect. I said, how can you be doing opposite things to show respect? So you might have been reading Shakespeare. So he said, you see, Shakespeare said, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. I said, exactly. You see, in the mind of we people from the East, this is a sign of humility. Humbleness. This is arrogance. To you, this is arrogance and this is humility. For example, an African needs a job, and you need, and I'm fine, somebody to do your garden for you. So he comes along with a hat on or a cap, says, Sagbona, Mrs. Sagbona. He says, from Sabensu. You'll never give him a job. This is this arrogant loud, look at it. He says, Sagbona, Mrs. He's got a chance. He's got a chance. No, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. It's nothing religious. This is all in the mind. To us, this is the way of showing humility. To you, this is showing humility. Shoes. Shoes, you see, ma'am, we say we are doing this in respect of the commandment given by God Almighty to the Holy Prophet Moses. When he was on Mount Sinai, God spoke to him and he said, draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place wherein thou standest is holy ground. In Afrikaans, en hy sê, moenie nader kom nie. Trek jou skoene van jou voete af, want die plek waar jy opstaan is heilige grond. So now, in respect of that commandment, we take off our shoes. But now there are certain practical reasons also. For example, in our prayer, you notice that we go eventually with our faces down into the dust, praising the Lord, but you have been walking around with your shoes all over, cow dung, horse manure, we can bring in, and now, we expect somebody else to put his face into it. So there are certain practical reasons also, but in respect of the commandment given by God to Moses, we take off the shoes. But it also serves all this clean, where we put our faces, it's a clean place.
Do you wear your pants all the time or only inside the house?
No, some of us, we wear all the time, like myself, I wear all the time. But today, according to modern practice, generally the people, they keep it in the pockets, and when they come to the mosque, they put it on. But those who do, they put it on all the time. Yes, sir.
Do Muslims believe that Jesus was a very holy man, that he was spiritual, and close to God, and that he actually worked miracles in the name of God the Father? Do you believe that?
We believe that Jesus Christ was one of the mightiest messengers of God.
What do you believe of the fact that he's actually claimed to be God? Doesn't that make him an out-and-out liar?
If he did claim to be God, that would be something.
Well, he did.
But what we Muslims say, that there is not a single unequivocal statement in any version of the Bible where Jesus says, I'm God, or where he says, worship me. If you have such information, anytime you bring it and show it to me in any version of the Bible, say, look, Jesus says, I'm God, or he says, worship me, I said, I'll join your church straight away. And I'll worship him as God, and I'll accept him as God.
Well, many places in the Bible it says that Jesus is referred to as the Word of God, and it says in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Right. Jesus existed right from the beginning of time as God.
I think you didn't hear my statement. I said where Jesus says, see, the man must make the claim. The man himself. You say, you go away and you say, I met the Pope of the Muslims, and he was talking to us, and I asked him a question, I stumped him. I said, look, please, excuse me, somebody can ask you. He said, did the man say he was the Pope? He says, no. What did he claim? So I don't know. I said, look, don't put anything upon the man which he didn't claim. He said, now, what did Jesus say? He says, my Father is greater than I. My Father is greater than all. He said, I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge. And my judgment is righteous, because I seek not my own will, but the will of him that sent me. He said, of that day knoweth no man, no, not the angels, nor the Son, but the Father in heaven. In my knowledge I am not like God. In my power I am not like God. He said, all power is given unto me, it is not mine. Look, this is what the man of God is saying, and we accept. Where does he say, I am God? Where does he say, worship me? He doesn't. On the contrary, he's humbling himself. I am speaking whatever is given to me, that I speak. See, the word you hear are not mine, but the Father that sent me. He had given me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak. Even as the Father has said unto me, so I speak. Where does he say, I am God? Where does he say, worship me? I am prepared to... these are interpretations. We give something, he said, I and my Father are one. He said, he that has seen the Father. I said, you say now, I said, look, if you want an explanation, I'll explain to you what I see. But that doesn't mean he says I'm God. I said, he must say I'm God, because if my salvation depends on that, he must make a clear-cut statement, I am God, worship me. And if he is God, and if he said that, if I don't worship him, I'll be lost. I'll go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. But the man never made any such claims.